Tucked deep into the heart of Kentucky, surrounded by miles of open farmland along the banks of a dried-up creek, lie the crumbling remains of what was once the Choctaw Academy, a historic Native American boarding school that was founded back in 1825 that was closed and abandoned after less than 20 years of operation. And it's the last standing remnant of what was once a 5-building campus, including 3 other stone buildings just like this one that served as dormitories and classrooms, plus a larger wood frame structure that was used as a dining hall, all having since then been torn down. And this one last remaining building also served as a dormitory, where native Choctaw children lived while attending the academy. And the Choctaw are actually one of the oldest continuously run cultures in all of North America, with roots stretching back thousands of years, with their ancestral territory spanning much of what we now consider to be the Deep South, particularly Mississippi, Western Alabama, and Louisiana. In the early 1800s, as the United States expanded, the Choctaw people were forced to surrender millions of acres of their territory through a series of treaties, and in return they were promised annual payments for that sacrifice, including $6,000 a year toward education so their children could be taught new skills and better integrated into the American system. And that funding is what gave rise to this school, but the reality was far from the promise. After operating for just 2 decades, the Choctaw Academy was ultimately shut down after widespread reports of corruption and abuse came out of the woodwork. What was supposed to uplift the Choctaw Nation became a get-rich scheme for the landowner that built out the school, Richard Mentor Johnson, who funneled the majority of the treaty money into his own pockets, while the native students endured thin rations, poor treatment, overcrowding, and physical abuse on this very site. And to make things even more scandalous, Richard Mentor Johnson was not only a decorated war veteran, but he also served as the Vice President of the United States toward the end of the school's regime. At the time, one of the country's most respected men, it shines a pretty clear light onto the country's overall respect for Native Americans at the time. Once a brand new facility funded by the promises of a phony treaty, it now stands as a somber monument to a system that vowed to educate, but instead exploited.